BRICS nations have announced the creation of their own currency, set to challenge the dominance of the US dollar and shake up the global financial order. Will this be the beginning of a new economic world order? Or will it lead to unprecedented global instability? BRICS expanding and adding a new currency. What can it translate to? Do you think the International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development are the sole driving forces of the world's economy? You probably have never heard of BRICS. Starting with only 4 members, BRIC was formed in 2001 as an alliance of emerging countries. Initiated by Russia, BRIC is an acronym for its 4 founding countries: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. South Africa later joined the organization in 2010, a move that was seen as an attempt to include all regions of the world in BRICS, with their primary objective being to help each other grow economically. BRICS has achieved a bit of their aim as their member countries now hold a total of $26.6 trillion in nominal GDP, translating to more than 26% of the world's total gross world products GDP. With 4 of their member countries, Brazil, Russia, China, and India, being among the world's 10 most populous countries, it is no surprise that all BRICS countries amount to over 41% of the world's population, owning close to 30% of the Earth's surface. Despite the differences between the BRICS countries and their structural constraints, they have surpassed all expectations in past years and grown tremendously. In fact, it is forecasted that the BRICS countries will likely be leading the world's economy in 2050, and it doesn't seem far from the truth. Aren't they doing so much already? No wonder every other country wants in on BRICS, and they are also putting more effort into their growth. BRICS expansion and a new currency reserve. After South Africa joined BRICS in 2010, other countries have also expressed their intent to be a part of the organization. For example, Argentina and Iran communicated their intentions to join while meeting senior Chinese officials during the summer of 2022. China, Russia, India, and Brazil have openly shown their support for Argentina's application. Therefore, it is safe to say we may see Argentina as a part of BRICS very soon. Also, Iran's relationship with Russia and China has become greater recently. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt have also communicated their interest in being a part of BRICS, although they have not submitted any formal request. However, this is not a problem, as you do not need any formal application to join BRICS. They only need a unanimous invitation from existing BRICS countries. In June 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that BRICS intended to create their own reserve currency. This is not BRICS' first attempt at separating their finances from the Western economy. At the 2012 4th BRICS Summit held in Delhi, the establishment of the BRICS New Development Bank was proposed. Headquartered in Shanghai, China, the New Development Bank is aimed at promoting infrastructure and sustainable developments in BRICS countries. Also, in 2015, the BRICS Contingent Reserve Arrangement was established to save BRICS countries from the effects of global liquidity pressures. BRICS also has its own payment system, proposed in 2015, and is meant to be an alternative to the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Communication. The new reserve currency for the BRICS countries that was announced in 2022 has since got the world talking, making us wonder, what exactly does it mean to the world's power and economy? If you find this video interesting so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. What effects can BRICS expansion and new currency reserve have? The BRICS proposed reserve currency is not their first attempt at money autonomy. They have constantly advocated using local currencies among mutual trades. This has helped their currencies so far, as most BRICS nations' currencies gained better strength, and they all held their own against the euro in 2022. Therefore, it is not surprising that they want to take this further and have their own currency. Also, the idea of a mutual currency is not so new, as there was such a proposal by the Valdai Club back in 2018. However, the latest announcement by Vladimir Putin at the 14th BRICS Summit of June 2022 gives the idea that it might really happen this time. The new proposed reserved currency called R5 is a basket of all currencies spent by all BRICS nations. The R5 or R5 Plus got its name from the first letters of all the nation's currencies, which all start with R. Although it is not meant to replace the current national reserve currencies of the BRICS countries, there are still talks about its fragility, emergence possibility, and the impact it might have. Therefore, let us look at what might happen in the wake of a new currency for countries holding trillions of dollars in foreign reserves. Reduce dependency on the dollar. The dollar has been the currency in most countries to hold their foreign reserves for so long. This is to maintain liquidity in times of crisis, as the dollar is the most traded currency globally. This has made dollars highly demanded and increased its strength. However, there is bound to be a reduction in the need for the dollar if the BRICS successfully makes its own currency, as it will be traded among them, with the number of BRICS countries increasing. More countries might just dump the dollar. Increased strength for the BRICS countries' currency. With the wide use of the dollar for worldwide trade comes economic and political power for the US. They can borrow money at lower costs and increase sanctions when necessary. It has also given the US a level of influence over many countries in the world. The dollar can also determine the level of inflation and wealth in a country, making the US an indirect determiner of the fate of people from other countries. Therefore, while the strong dollar is good for the US, it's not as good for other countries whose currencies keep falling and the economy is dipping. However, with another world currency in play, the BRICS countries are bound to gain more economic strength, which will in turn lead to more political power. Possible shift in the world power balance. Since the BRICS countries are ready to put their money where their mouths are, there may be a power shift soon. Russia is already a world power as a large nation, and home to more than 30 natural resources that fetch them money. And with China dominating the world's trade, they are also not to be taken lightly. Brazil also wields substantial political and economic power as the most populous country in Latin America. Furthermore, India is considered a potential world superpower due to many factors. These factors include their large population, which gives them the opportunity for high human resources. With South Africa ranked as the country with the strongest military in sub-Saharan Africa and 26th globally, it is apparent that the BRICS countries are already a force to reckon with. With a currency they can use to rival the American dollar, the balance in world power may tilt towards them soon. Reduced dependence on the West. One of the significant reasons BRICS was formed was to reduce the dependency on the West, and the BRICS proposed reserve currency might just be the last thing they need to achieve the goal. While it may not be possible at once because they will likely continue using the dollar for years to come until the currency gains stability, it might just pay off in some years. If the BRICS currency should stand, the countries might just not need anything from the West any longer. Will BRICS expansion and their proposed currency reserve have an effect on the world economy and politics? Well, their influence so far cannot be denied. BRICS do not only currently consist of world powers like China and Russia, the major manufacturing and one of the largest trading countries in the world. However, can we say the expansion is all for the good of the world? With the proposed plans for a new reserve currency, the R5 is bound to reduce the world's dependency on the dollar and give the BRICS countries more economic power. What do you think about the proposed foreign reserve currencies by BRICS countries?